Today we are going to be talking about how to stay fit and beat or get ahead of menopausal belly fat specifically, but just body fat in general. How do we do that, especially as we start to transition deeper into this season of menopause? And I'm going to share with you what I do as a 56-year-old postmenopausal woman to make sure that I am getting the results that I say that I want with this lifestyle that we're creating here, which is fasting long, feasting well, and training smart, so that we can wake up every day looking and feeling our best and living our most authentic life. So welcome. You guys know this is my favorite thing to do. You can leave your comments in the comment section, ask a question. I'm an open book. I'll answer it the best I can, or just leave a comment with how you're thriving with this lifestyle that you're creating for yourself as well. We always love hearing from you in that regard. Okay, so let's get started. You guys know I'm a fasting mindset coach, so I really like to talk about things from the aspect of where is our minds going in our decision-making process that could be beneficial to us based on what it is we say we want, or could be the thing that's holding us back from all the things that we say that we want. And so what I want to start today's conversation off with is, why is our body so frustrating to us? Why is it, as we're transitioning out of basically our childbearing years into perimenopause, menopause, and now where I am, postmenopause, why is that so frustrating for us? And I think that the reason it is so frustrating for us is because we just haven't slowed down enough to really have an intimate relationship with our own body and understand the changes that it's going through. Because all that perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause is just a series of changes going on hormonally. So let's get down to why we are frustrated and why our body is the way it is through the season of menopause. And it really is just hormonal imbalance. Now, I don't want you to think that hormonal imbalance is a negative thing. It's just a very neutral thing. It's where our body is going because of the season of life that we're in. And it's the imbalance of hormones that is, in fact, causing all the changes. And so, a lot of feedback that I get from women, and the feedback I got from myself also, is, why is it that the things that I once was doing, why are those things no longer working for me? I'm pulling all the tricks out of the bag, and all the things that were super easy for me to affect a change in my body or weight loss or physique or any of the things, they're not working for me anymore. Why? Because your hormones are out of balance, because they're going through a change. And before, you were in a season where everything was pretty consistent. So let's understand that change. When we're in a state of hormonal imbalance due to menopause, our fat storage hormones are really the hormones that are starting to run the show. Insulin is the one that is really the kind of one that's poking at us the most consistently. And that's just in response to the fact that our estrogen is naturally dropping off. So estrogen's dropping off, insulin is rising. Insulin is one of the reasons why we store fat, because we're just not as efficient with utilizing our energy the way that we were in the past. And so then that triggers all of our other hormones like ghrelin and leptin and neuropeptides and all the things that are the communication between our body's metabolism, or metabolic flexibility is really the phrase that is the big picture of what's going on, and our brain, and how our brain is signaling things to happen in our body. And there's this miscommunication because there's an imbalance. So our body is just in storage mode as opposed to utilization mode. Sugar then becomes one of the related issues that we're dealing with, which is why so many women, again, I'm teaching from my own experience here and the experience of the women in our community, we end up having sugar related issues that we have to deal with. When I went for just a annual physical with my doctor and got results back from my blood work saying I was pre-diabetic, I literally fell out of my chair. How can I be pre-diabetic? I'm a nutrition coach. I'm a fitness coach. Oh, wait, but I'm also a woman transitioning through perimenopause. I neglected to put that little piece in there. So it doesn't even matter how well you think you're eating, or how much it is you're exercising, or any of the things, like I said, the tricks you're pulling out of the old bag. If you're in a state of hormonal imbalance and your body is on its own accord storing fat really well, sugar becomes an issue. Things like pre-diabetic conditions, diabetic conditions, if you don't catch it early enough, those are the things that are causing us issues because we haven't changed our decision-making process based on what's going on hormonally and chemically in our body. These are just metabolic changes because our metabolism does naturally slow down as we age. And again, we can pinpoint it back up to this, right? So we know all of these things in the big picture of what it is we're researching or what maybe society is talking about. But a lot of us don't know how to implement the changes that we need to affect the change that we say that we want. So we end up frustrated, depressed, we're confused about our own body. So many comments I get from women that I'm involved with coaching with say, I don't even know, like, I don't even know my body anymore. I'm so confused. Like, who am I? I also said the same things. We're afraid because we don't like the path that we see that we're on. And we have seen things happen to maybe women in our life that are older than us, and we don't want to go down that path. And then it's all just lack of information or lack of good information. So that's what we want to break down here today. So if you want to stay fit, and you want to get ahead of menopausal fat, which if it's coming because of the hormonal imbalances that are going on in your body, the first thing that I think we have to do is understand our body and how it works. We really, understand how our body works when we're in our childbearing years, right? Because it seems really simple what we're achieving in those years if we do want to have children, unless, right, we hit a roadblock and have some infertility issues. I was also that woman who had some infertility issues, so I had to kind of get down and dirty pretty quick to figure out how can I make some changes in my life to manipulate what's going on with my hormones on their own. And so I took that experience also and brought it with me to my menopausal season. Like, how can I do some things to manipulate what's going on with nature on its own? So I had to really understand this new body that I was in. I didn't want the body leading the show. I wanted to be able to make decisions that would take me down the path I wanted to go. You have to also clearly define what your why is for this season of life. I want to grow old and still be a participating individual in the life that I've spent like a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of resources creating for myself and my family. I don't want to miss out on the good stuff. And so that's the why for me, always staying in research mode, always staying in experimental mode, always really seeking out information so that I can manipulate what nature has already designed for me and make it turn out the way that I want it to turn out. And probably the even better description of that is I want to manipulate what society says I'm supposed to age like. And I really do want to go more with what the natural progression of aging is if I really understand how my body works. So that's my why. And then the fast, long, feast well, train smart approach to this new body that we're living in. Now, fasting, again, is that thing that has just been so grossly over manipulated by society that we don't know whether we're coming or going or what breaks the fast or what we're supposed to do and why are we so frustrated when we're doing all the things that someone said that we needed to do. And it comes back to this, right? No one knows you better than you, or no one should know you better than you. And if you're feeling like you don't understand your body, or you're like really unaware of where you're going and how it is that that's all unfolding for you, I highly, highly, highly recommend getting to know your body. What kind of things is your body trying to tell you when your brain is making decisions? And is that leading you down the path to your why? If you're doing something on like repetition and you're doing it on autopilot and you're not involving your brain in the decision making process of it, then that's where a lot of us end up aging in a way that is not flattering and is not what we intended for ourselves. We have to go back to decision making processes that start with us and asking ourselves the question, does this make sense? How do I feel? How do I see myself? And are all of those things making me happy? And if they're not, you have to question them. And that's what we really do here in this community. That's what I do in all of the classes that I teach here online is we have to go back to thinking. Why is it that I'm waking up every morning not looking and feeling my best? Why is it that physically I'm not showing up for myself the way I wanted to? Why is it that I don't feel like I'm authentic? Meaning I'm not making decisions for me. I'm just following someone's manual and it's not working for me. Like, how do I get myself back? And that really comes with this approach. The fast, long, feast well, train smart. We call it the trifecta to aging successfully here. And then we have to do the mindset shift work. We have to go back to asking questions. Why am I doing something because some stranger told me to do it and I'm not feeling good about it? Why am I holding on so deeply and so tightly to that thing when it's not getting me what I say that I want? So here's what I want you to think about. If you have this desire to keep yourself fit as you age, if you have this desire to stay ahead of what is going to happen to you if you don't make some changes, and that is the whole fat storage process and aging in a way that is not something we had ever planned for ourselves. You have to figure out where your enough is. There are rules, there are these guidelines, there are these people that tell us it's my way or the highway. And I really want us to walk away from that and start questioning some of the advice that we get. Question the advice I give as well, because remember, I'm giving it from my experience, my standpoint, my research, and feedback that I get back from women all over the world. But that might not be what you need. So I want you to spend some time this week. What is enough for me so that I can wake up every day looking and feeling my best and doing that in my most authentic way, despite my age, despite the season of life that I'm living in? When you get to that answer of enough, then you should get the results that you say that you want for yourself, because we have to be happy and healthy. The and part is very important. You do not have to be happy making decisions that feel good in the moment and end up unhealthy. And you don't have to be so caught up in being so perfectly healthy that you're also not happy. So, what is enough for you, the individual woman living in the world today, transitioning through hormonal seasons? What is enough for you to fast, to feast, and to train your body so that you can show up for you and your future self, for you and the life that you've dreamed about having when you got to this season of life, and so that you don't have to make any exceptions? What I teach here is a 20-hour fast. If you've been following, you know that. If you're a graduate of class, you know that. But for some women, enough is 18 hours. Or maybe you reversed a lot of the things that you were struggling with, and you reversed a lot of the things that you were unhappy with. And now you're like, you know what? I can kind of ease in and out whenever I want. That's enough. It's only when we create this conflict in our brain that we're like, yeah, but I wanted to lose 20 pounds, or I wanted to be able to get back into working out, but I wanted to do XYZ, and you're not getting it. And it's probably because you haven't defined enough for you. And in the beginning, enough means being very diligent about that clean fast, being very diligent about how many hours a day you're fasting, being very diligent about listening to the signs and signals that your body is sending you. When you incorporate something into your lifestyle, that's going to create your body to have to respond, right? A chemical or hormonal response. And if you're not getting, I feel amazing, you have to question the things. I just bought some skincare thing off of the internet. Everybody was raving about this product and how great it was. So I was like, I'm going to see if it works. I bought it. I got it home. The first thing I did, because I couldn't find anything on their website, was turn the box around, and like midway through the ingredients label is soya. Put it right in the trash, because I know that there's no product in the world that they can advertise is going to do amazing things for my skin and also make me sick that I'm going to put in my life, right? So this is where we have to figure out this part. What is enough for me to be happy and healthy? Do I have to be an extremist 24/7, 365 for the rest of my life to get what it is I say that I want? Or can I just do the thought work? And can I do the decision-making process? Can I work on why it is food is falling into my life the way it is? And if I really work on that aspect of it, then I can define what enough is for me, and I don't have to worry about what everybody's advertising to me as their way or the highway. I tell my brain every day I fast for 20 hours because I want my brain to believe that's the lifestyle that I live. When in doubt, I fast it out. I lean into fasting and I lean away from feasting when I'm not feeling like that's going to be the thing that's serving me. And I do that all while never missing a memory-making moment. And that's because we're doing the work up here. You can live this lifestyle also, and you can live it very authentically and you can live it very naturally. You do not have to walk around with a neon sign telling people what you do. When you start showing up as your most authentic self, you will be fit because that's what you're going to decide is the best thing for you. And you're going to be able to stay away from that hormonal belly fat specifically because the decision-making process is going to be geared toward your why. And if the why is you don't want to manage that, then the decisions you make will back up that why. Figure out you're enough for you to get the results that you say that you want. Rinse and repeat. There is no diet out there that's going to do this for you if you're not doing this work. There is no exercise plan out there that's going to do it for you if you're not doing this work. There's nothing that you need to do that is out there, or any secret sauce or any magic pill or any form of supplementation or anything that you're missing. It's this, and you are already equipped with it. You just need to clean up some of the decisions. You need to figure out what fit means to you. You need to figure out what your physique means to you and how it is you want to see yourself. We need the mental, we need the physical, and we need the emotional part to be on the healing aspect as well. This is what I teach in class. This is why I make you think. This is why I make you answer your own questions. I want you to be an informed woman standing on your own 2 feet that comes back here because you love the community aspect of it. But if YouTube or Facebook went down tomorrow, you'd be fine because you know how to think for yourself. You can be fit and you can be healthy at any age. This is the work that I do for myself every single day. There is nothing secret that I'm doing. There's nothing special that I'm doing. Everything that I do, I share with you. So if you see something that you want to achieve for yourself, answer this question. What do I need to do enough of so that I can show up the way that I want? And this part will also give you the permission to live a life. You'll be able to celebrate with your friends. You'll be able to go on vacation. You'll be able to eat birthday cake at your granddaughter or your grandson's first birthday party, and it won't send you off the deep end emotionally and mentally because you've already done this work. Class is open. Get yourself in class. This is the stuff I make you come to grips with when you're in class. The Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, the Midlife Mindset Shift course, is not about me telling you what to do. It's me guiding you through making decisions for you based on what it is that you say that you really want. And it's a very freeing way to live your life. I love the idea of enough. It takes the pressure off and eliminates the thought of all or nothing. Yeah, all or nothing in good and bad, right? So I do believe that there is a period, and this is why the class is designed the way it is. There's 21 days of lessons because it takes about that long for us to break old habits and create new habits. And then an extra week of you being available to or being around in the community to support your confidence moving out into the world, right? And so everything's done for a specific reason. And the thing I think about diets that have really hurt us as a society, especially for women, is that you're either doing it right or you're doing it wrong. And if you're not following the diet the way someone else has printed it out on a piece of paper, then you're wrong. And why don't you have motivation? And why aren't you dedicated? And why aren't you disciplined? And all the negative things that come with you not blindly following someone else. And that's not the way we're supposed to live. So I think that there's great information available for us to look at and go, this is interesting. But you also have to go into, how am I feeling? How am I showing up in my life? Does this feel good to me? Can I do it forever? The enough part will allow you to do it forever because you can then tweak fasting for a vacation. You can tweak fasting for a healing opportunity. So you can fast a little bit longer. The one thing that I get a lot from women who don't trust fasting is, I have this thing going on in my life, so I'm going to step away from fasting. Why would you do that? Right? I'm sick. I'm going to step away from fasting. I'm having surgery. I'm stepping away from fasting. I'm super busy. I'm going to step away from fasting. Why would you complicate your life? Like, just simplify it. Fasting is the thing that fixes and heals all things. Like, so I really want to create a community of women that are like, yeah, I'm going to go have surgery, so I'm just going to fast to prepare my body. Hey, I'm not feeling well. I think I'm going to fast today. Hey, I'm super busy. I've never thought about using fasting as an opportunity to clear up my mind and clear up my schedule and just have some extra time and energy and resources to get the thing done. Like, we are conditioned to default to food. And so what I really want us to condition to default is the fast. And when you do it in a healthy way, it works great. I love you guys. Have a great week.